Hey guys, so I kind of want to make a rambly vlog style video. If that's not your thing, click off now. I don't want to hear comments about like, hey, you're rambling. You know what? I just want to make a quick, little more positive video than I did about the timeline issue that I did in my last video this evening. So, yeah. I do want to say that I did end up getting a pair of new headphones, and they're Biodynamic DT700 Pro X's. I think they sound fantastic. They're a relatively nice upgrade to the DT770 Pros. I think these are still really good headphones, but these are a nice upgrade. They're definitely built better. They're both built in Germany, but this definitely feels more German, if that makes any sense. So with the timeline issue, I wanted to bring up, somebody did state to try and do a firmware update. I'm sorry, I accidentally deleted your comment. It was because there was 3 other comments that popped up immediately before yours that were all spam. They were like, click this link to, infect your computer with 10,000 viruses. So I just try and get those. It's kind of like a built-in reflex that I've had recently with my YouTube videos. Apologies, I didn't mean to like censor that. That is a good idea. I don't have a USB MIDI interface that can transfer sysx. I do almost everything DAW-less. I record to a multi-track recorder, and then I use my DAW, which is Logic in this case. I'm a Mac guy at home. Yeah, I work an IT job, and I use Macs, so that's hilarious at home. And then, yeah. Anyway, I use Logic as my DAW, and I usually import stuff from a multi-track recorder to do final production on my Mac, and that's it. I don't actually use my Mac to do any kind of major production work. So I don't have a good MIDI interface for it. So yeah, I can't send sysx. And the problem is the Mobius, Timeline, and Big Sky all have MIDI interfaces and no USB. So you have to send sysx to them to update their firmware. Yeah, so that's kind of out of the question. But I do believe they both have the same firmware, and I did try the factory reset option that they did show on the website. At least I think it worked. But yeah, it definitely sounds like a hardware issue if you listen to it. Firmware is not going to fix that. I mean, it can fix hardware issues, but they both have the newest firmware as far as I can tell. All right, so that leads me on to Sweetwater, taking back those timelines. They're a dream to work with. If you need music gear, I'm not sponsored, but I've had no customer service issues with them. Even currently, where they've recently got bought out by a investment firm, they've not had any issues. So at least for me with customer service. So yeah, I keep buying from them, obviously. I bought these headphones from them as well. They kind of got overshadowed. I forgot to talk about them because of the issues with the timeline. Me just being pissed off at Strymon. I'm not that pissed off. I'm just kind of pissed off. So yeah, I want to talk about some tape delays. I bought another Volante. I've been telling people in my comments from my RE2 video, just the Volante has not been surpassed. It's not been usurped, as they would say. It's still the king or queen of delays, I would say. I mean, whatever you want to call it. It's just such a good delay. Again, rambly video, but I'm going to go on some tape delay tangents here. So the Volante, I bought it initially when it first came out many years back. When was it? 2018? Was it 2019? I don't even remember. I had it for a very long time. I made one of the first videos about using it on a synth as far as I remember. I got some really good traffic from that. I think that's what made my channel a little more visible than it was at the time. So I've yet to find a better tape delay. I'm just going to say that. The RE202 will not beat it. I've heard too many videos of it being used. It sounds exactly like the RE2, but with an extra head if you enable that. And that's only one mode, but all the other modes are very similar. I mean, you have hall reverb capabilities on the RE202, but it's still parallel reverb and not very good reverb in my opinion. One thing Boss just doesn't excel at is reverb in my opinion. That's where Strymon, Source Audio, especially Source Audio, just goes into their own with really good algorithms. And like Eventide. Eventide has very good algorithms as well with the Space. I still have my Space. I think my Space was my first expensive pedal. It's still fantastic. But yeah, so Volante, still the best tape delay or magnetic echo delay unit that I've ever heard. It does so much. It reminds me so much of my real RE201 when I had that back in the day. And this does more, obviously, but it can do that sound. It can do the close to feedback whoosh and stuff like that. This does way more, like I said. It can do full stereo. It can do full stereo spread. So yeah, that leads me on to I need to make a follow-up video from having this for years and knowing the ins and outs of what I've done with it. If you look back through my music, that I just do music with this, I loved using it and still do. That leads me to this guy, or whatever. Shouldn't gender needless objects. It's kind of stupid. But yeah, the tape echo from X. It's the ND7, and it's absolutely fantastic. It murders the RE2 and the 202 in my opinion. The only thing it does not excel in is it only has a mono input, unfortunately. This may be a TRS input. I need to talk to X and see if they just haven't firmware enabled it. I think the Atlantic has a TRS input for a loop, a FX loop. So this might be a TRS input. It's just not enabled in software or something. I don't know. I hope it is stereo internally, but it's missing that. It does create a stereo image from a mono image though, for the modulation. So that's cool. It also has USB-C. This is a inexpensive pedal. This is $180 pedal, and it has USB-C, firmware updatable. Sounds fantastic. I sound like I'm excited because I used this a few times already, and it just, oh man, it blows away the RE2. Doesn't touch the Volante. Nothing touches the Volante, but maybe the El Cap, who knows. But yeah, great pedal. So that goes on to my whole rant I had earlier about Strymon's quality control with the timeline. I've not seen that on any other pedal from them, so I haven't broken up with them yet, if you know what I mean. I just haven't. I still want to keep supporting them as a company because they do make a good product. Well, their quality control has gone down, at least with the timeline, so maybe they'll look into that. I did email them. Hopefully they will come out with a response and tell me what happened there. But yeah. So yeah, I still have the RE2. I still want to keep it. It's so nostalgic in terms of that green and silver color scheme and the mode selector. It's lovely. It's small. It does full stereo. That's cool. I mean, it doesn't create a stereo image, but it has stereo through and it has independent delay lines. At least I've tested and it seems to. So that's one of the benefits of this. This is not truly stereo. I will go into that when I do my follow-up video about what I've found. This creates a stereo image after the fact, so it sums to mono when it throws it into the delay line. It's interesting. It's still great, but yeah, I think that's because this can do ping pong via panning the heads and things like that, but yeah, not really a big excuse, but still great. Yeah, so again, just having a little rambly video. I don't make videos all that often. The major reason for that is it takes me so much effort to make a video. At least one of my good videos where I have to take out tabletop, set up my camera, then edit the video after, do color corrections, do my audio syncing. Audio syncing has gotten really good for me. I use, Final Cut Pro. And it has a really good audio to video syncing feature. I need to make a video of that. It's crazy how many people don't know that feature exists in Final Cut, and you can sync two audio sources as long as you have a reference point in both audio sources, and it works so unbelievably well. It has cut my production time on videos since I've been using it almost 4 years ago, I think. Yeah, good stuff. So yeah. Yeah, other things that I don't know if I have anything else to talk about. Thanks for staying with me this long on this video. I just kind of wanted to talk about a few things. This is like my 8th take of this video. I'm just kind of getting exhausted of doing it because I don't know if I'm saying the wrong things, if somebody's going to go in and just jump on my case for saying something wrong, because that seems to be the deal with people on the internet these days. So and I just don't want that. I can't deal with that kind of stress. I already deal with that kind of stress at work, so yeah. Though I will say the only other thing I want to add in, Pride Month is almost over. Happy Pride Month to everybody. Yep, I just want to bring that out there. And obviously, I'm part of the LGBTQ plus community. I'll leave it at that. If anybody really cares, I will maybe talk about it in the future, but whatever. Not a big deal. Just wanted to say it's June. It's Pride Month. Happy Pride, everybody. Yeah. So, yeah. Stoked about these. I love these things so far. The material quality has gotten so much better. Thanks to Biodynamic for doing that. I mean, they better for the cost increase. These are 130 to 150 bucks. These moved up to 260. Just a rant. I mean, inflation's happening. It's bullshit, but it is happening. And at least I got something for it on these. These do feel like a premium pair of headphones. Again, like I said, I'm just rambling about stuff now. But yeah, just wanted to do follow-up on stuff. I don't know. What do you guys want to see first out of all these? Do you guys want to see the new X video first? I think I really want to do this one first. This is just so exciting to me. Or do you want me to do the follow-up about the Volante? I know that a lot of people that watch my channel have the funds, or at least they've been asking me about high-end pedals, get something like this. But I feel this is more beginner-friendly, and this just wipes the floor with the RE2, other than the not stereo input. But for what you're getting on this has wow and flutter control, but the wow and flutter are two separate controls. That is like the coolest thing ever. That's actually kind of unique. And then on top of that, this has bass and treble controls, unlike the RE2. The 202 does, but the RE2 doesn't. And this has a good sounding spring reverb. I have some caveats to it, like the not stereo in, and the fact you can't control where the reverb sits. You can't do that on the Volante either, but one thing I like about the reverb is it sets at the end of the delay chain instead of at the in parallel. I wish you had the option to set this at the end in series, but it's a minor thing. Maybe NewX can fix it in software. Anyway, thanks for watching. Happy Pride Month, or the end of it. And yeah, stay tuned. Let me know what you want to see first, this or this.